Modern Dayfarer has always been a solid bag recommendation, and since they are from Germany, they also have a place in my heart. These are the new Dayfarer Backpack 18 liter and Dayfarer Sling 2 liter. Let's do a first look and see what I think about them. Full transparency, all of you know that YouTube is my passion project, and I balance my YouTube schedule around my work schedule, which is basically the reason why it sometimes takes forever to actually review a product. And sometimes a brand asks me if I can speed up a video, which is why I now offer a priority schedule for my videos. In other words, brands can pay for when a video will be online. However, everything that I say in these videos is my own opinion, and these brands have no creative say in these videos. They only pay for the scheduling. They also see the video the same time like you do. Again, they only pay for the scheduling. They do not pay for my opinion or have any creative say in these videos. That being said, because this is a priority scheduling, and as I said, I need to balance this around my work schedule, I sometimes don't have the time to actually do a review period for the product. That is why these videos are only first impressions or quick looks and not full reviews. And with that out of the way, let's start this video. Alright, let's start the first impression and quick look of these two new bags from Modern Dayfarer. Keep in mind, this is not a review. This is a first look, first impressions, quick look, unboxing. Which means I do not inform myself intentionally about the products that I'm doing a first impression or unboxing on. Because I want to give you the most honest first impressions, as if I would be walking into a brick and mortar store and experience the product for the first time. That way I can kind of nitpick about the potential negatives, but more importantly, I can also evaluate the intuitiveness or how intuitive a product might be without kind of knowing anything about that product. And with that out of the way, it's also important that everything that I potentially might be nitpicking on, and keep in mind, with all of my videos, I intentionally nitpick so you can evaluate if those flaws, trade-offs, negatives apply to your use case, or if you can work around those negatives or flaws. Alright, with that out of the way, let's take a look at these two new bags from Modern Dayfarer. These two bags are the Backpack 18 liter and the Sling 2 liters. And I have this two camera setup now, so that in this segment that is now coming up, I will do no edits, so you can experience firsthand how I am experiencing these two bags for the very first time. So let's open up this box. I of course forgot to kind of have a nice knife in place, and let's take out these new two bags, throw away the box and take a look at these bags. So this is the Modern Dayfarer Backpack 18 liter. Let's just check. Yeah, here's the Sling. Take that out first. And the only thing that I know about these bags is that in this new version, they are 100% made out of recycled 420D velocity nylon. And I do like that this has a recycled material, which is obviously always great. So first and foremost, I can right away see the, dare I say, iconic dual zipper mechanism opening that is very well known for Modern Dayfarer since, I believe, 2017 when they introduced this. And as far as I know from the comment section in my videos and couple of comments from viewers, many people do like this dual opening zipper mechanism a lot. But before I go into opening that dual zipper mechanism, let's take a look on the outside. I do like this green color. As many of you know, I'm kind of bored of black bags. I do understand that many people want a black bag because it's much easier to kind of combine with your wardrobe, or yeah, it's more timeless. However, in a sea of black bags, I do like other colors. And this is a green that I personally haven't seen yet. Maybe it's a combination due to this new material, this 420D Velocity nylon, but many other brands have a green fabric as well, be it Able Carry, for example, that comes initially to mind, or Alpaca. They have a version of green, but this to me looks a little bit more like forest green in a way, and I do like that. Obviously, with the grading that I have on my videos, it's what you see is probably not true to color what you have in hands. As you know, I'm a filmmaker, I like to grade these videos. Yes, some of you find that a little bit too much because you don't see the colors, but it makes my life as a filmmaker a little bit more enjoyable. So that is why there is a heavy grain on this, and obviously the green that you see on this video is not representative of the green that you will see in real life. But what I can tell you, to me, it looks somewhat like a forest green. And I do like this a lot because it's a little bit different than the other greens that I know. As the name implies, this is an 80-liter backpack, but truth to be told, this looks a little bit smaller than 18-liter, which is usually really good because in a sea of big bags, having a bag that appears smaller yet has 18-liter is a good volume capacity for everyday carry, to be quite honest. Not all of you, if you watched all of my videos, you know I carry a lot of tech items. So 18 liters sometimes is a little bit too small, but I know that not everyone carries a mechanical keyboard. So not all of you need more than 18 liters. So this is a perfect size for everyday carry. You have a water bottle slot here on the outside, a really cool side handle, which I do like a lot. It is grippy, and just like the top handle, it is padded and rounded so it feels good in your hand without being too bulky and getting in your way. You need to find balance with these kind of handles. On one side, you want them to be comfortable to utilize, but not be too padded and therefore getting too bulky and then getting in your way. I do like that this has a good balance so it doesn't kind of get in your way. And personally, I like side handles. I'm a fairly short person, so for me, carrying a longish bag with the handles is usually better on the side than on the top handle, because depending on the length of the bag, if I utilize the top handle, sometimes I bump against things on the ground, so I rather have a side handle for that use case. On the back, the shoulder straps are padded and are wide, just like the top and side handles. There is always a balance that you need to find for these straps, because if you make them too bulky or too big, they kind of get in your way and the whole bag doesn't really feel like an everyday carry bag that needs to be maneuverable inside a subway or a bus when you're commuting to work, right? But also you don't want the shoulder strap to be too thin so that it becomes uncomfortable on your way from home to the subway station, for example. And this, from first impressions, has a good balance because it's padded but not overly padded, but it is wide enough to kind of distribute the weight on your shoulders properly so it doesn't dig into your shoulders and therefore becomes uncomfortable. There are strap and organizers that are okay. I like these. These are these kind of plastic strap and organizers that are closed, so the strap end is always in place. And the back panel has some padding and an air vent plus a little luggage pass-through. Let me zoom in a little bit here, so you can see it a little bit better. Then there is a hidden compartment here, really cool, because for your valuables, for example, if you go traveling, This could be a good place for your passport because it's close to your bag. Also, the Hamburg train station is notoriously known for pickpockets, so having a pocket that is close to your bag and therefore is kind of not really advertising to a pickpocket, get to this pocket because there are some valuables inside, is always great. So I do like this hidden pocket here. Then on this side there is nothing, so there's only one water bottle slot here. That is on the side with the side handle. So if you put the bag on the ground on this side, obviously there is no pocket with items that could potentially get crushed. I love V-buckle style fitlocks. These to me are the best V-buckles, and not V-buckles, fitlocks, because you don't accidentally open them. So to open them, you kind of have to pull this little lever and then it opens up. Then before going inside and utilizing this dual zipper opening, there is also this quick access pocket up here. And this is something that I always kind of nitpick about already in one of the first modern Dayfarers, but also in other backpacks, for example, the Able Carry, I forgot which one. The Max? Was it the Max? No, the EDC, I believe. These pockets, I do like them, but there aren't any kind of slots here to kind of organize smaller items in a vertical orientation. So this is the vertical orientation, right? So if you put items in here, they eventually, or they have to accumulate here at the bottom, which I don't like. So if there would have been some slots here to kind of organize items in a vertical space, so have a slot around here, then maybe one here, you could potentially organize smaller items in the whole vertical alignment, and not everything that you put inside this pocket would kind of accumulate here at the bottom. It's just something to make a little bit neater, but more importantly, if all of the items that you put inside these pockets accumulate here, obviously everything bulks up here and creates this pear kind of shape of the bag. So from a neat and organizational standpoint, I would have loved if there were some slots here to utilize the whole vertical space. Now, opening up, so modern Dayfarer has this somewhat hybrid appearance of how you can utilize or open and pack your bag. So on one hand, you have this top-down flap kind of design where you can load up all of your items from the top, but then you have the, as I've said, dare I say, iconic dual zipper opening design with these YKK AquaGuard zippers, which I like a lot. You open it up and then you have basically this clamshell opening main compartment that makes loading, unloading and organizing all of your items so much easier. I prefer clamshell opening backpacks just because it is very easy to see what you have inside. So even if something is at the bottom, you obviously can access all of the stuff here at the bottom very easily without losing something. I do like that we have this gray interior fabric that makes, even in top loading mode, very easy to see your items inside. I like that a lot. Truth to be told, I like this color combination of green and orange. So I would have loved if this would have been orange, but I can totally see that that is a very well-known and very used color combination. So I can understand that gray is a more, let's say, brand recognizable combination. Inside this flap, you have two zippered compartments. One that is see-through, so everything that you put in here you can obviously very easily see, and then one that is not very see-through. What I can see here, and that is something that I also had with the older modern Dayfarer version. These pockets, be it very useful, aren't that big in terms of thickness. So bigger, bulkier items, while they could fit inside, it's not necessarily the best place. Maybe your MacBook Pro charger, some cables, SSDs, stuff like that could be in here. But if you have something like bulkier or bigger, for example, my track folding pouch that has my extended EDC, or other pouches that are a little bit bulkier, technically they could fit inside here, but it's not a great place because it is so bulky. That is my personal use case. So again, this is some of a negative or drawback that applies to my use case, but probably won't apply to your use case. So these pockets are a little bit slimmer, therefore they are more you could utilize these better for smaller or slimmer items. But I do like that you can organize your stuff in here, and this is what I meant in the vertical orientation. So everything that you put here will stay here at the top and won't slide to the bottom. So that is a very good way to kind of organize your stuff. Then you have a little slot here to organize some other items as well. Usually, honestly, I do like to have some clothing here. In the summer, I sometimes carry a shirt if I would be sweating, or in the winter I carry an extra jacket if it is too cold in the office. And instead of it kind of like flying around in the main pocket, I like to fold it up and then put them into these kind of pockets. So for that, this is really good. Let's close this up again. Oh, by the way, the build quality, just like all of the other modern Dayfarer bags, is really good. I do like the fabrics, the choice of materials, like this Fitlock buckle, the YKK AquaGuard zippers, and all of the stitching is amazing. It looks really good. The labeling, like this modern Dayfarer logo, is very subtle to a degree. And then on the top here, behind an AquaGuard zipper, there is the laptop compartment here. And let me just feel it. And it is suspended. This is great. So my finger is here. So your laptop will be suspended about 5 centimeters, or let's say 1.5 inches above the ground. This is great. I've tested and seen a couple of bags lately where the laptop compartment wasn't suspended. So having a laptop compartment that is 1.5 inches maybe above the ground is amazing. I love that. Good job, modern Dayfarer, for designing it this way. Perfect. I like that a lot. But besides that, there is nothing else here in the laptop compartment. Sorry for kind of missing left and right. So yeah. So that is the Dayfarer backpack 18 liter. Now let's take a look at the Sling bag, the Sling 2 liter. Dayfarer Sling 2 liter is the exact name. And let's start with the outside. Just like the backpack, it has this forest green kind of look, and maybe I zoom in a little bit more again. So this is the Sling bag. Let's look at the outside. Just like on the backpack, there is a V-buckle style fitlock. I love this. And the reason being is I don't like fitlock openings and mechanisms, especially on sling bags, because one time I had a sling bag on my shoulder. I was riding a motorcycle and I accidentally open up the sling bag or that fitlock buckle while I was riding. And the reason being is fitlocks are designed with a magnetic mechanism to make it very easy to close, but it also means it's very easy to open. And with some fit buckle systems, a slight bump can open up that whole shoulder strap. And especially with the sling bag, where there is only one strap holding the bag on your shoulders, it is very important that the mechanism is good. And with this fitlock buckle, there is no chance of this accidentally open. You have to pull this little lever and then it will open up. I love this, and kudos again to Modern Dayfarer for choosing a V-buckle style fitlock. The whole strap is designed in a way that you don't have any strap ends. However, there is obviously this dual situation here, which can get a little bit tangled up. That is something that, yeah, some people will like. I like this because there is no strap end, but you will need to keep in mind there is this kind of dual strap situation where if you carelessly, in air quotes, put it on top of your shoulder, there is the potential that your hand, instead of going through this way, it goes through this way, and then you have this kind of messed up shoulder strap situation. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. The whole attachment point seems very, very good. There is a pivoting point here, so it should lay on your shoulders really well. The stitching is great, and yeah, you have again the 100% recycled 420D velocity nylon, and just like on the previous version of the Dayfarer Sling, we have this magnetic buckles to close this. Honestly, in my previous test of this sling bag, I did not like this mechanism a lot because while it is easy to close, I feel it is also, just like fitlocks, a little bit too easy to open up. So this needs to be seen if I will like this on a day-to-day use case, if this is actually secure. Yeah, again, this is a quick look, first impressions. Don't know yet how good this works, but I remember from 3 years ago or something, when I tested the old version, it did open up sometimes a little bit too easily. Let's see if this has been improved. Inside, I do like the design of this. You have a couple of slots. This one could be great for either your phone or maybe a tablet. Then you have 2 organizational slots. While I do like this style of organization, because these smaller slots are open when you're running, sometimes it is very likely that small items, for example, I like to keep like lip balm in these kind of slots, they can kind of jump out of that. There is a zippered pocket here that could be utilized for those kind of small items, just to be safe that they don't jump out. Then you have a key leash here to secure, but other than that, it is a fairly basic 2-liter compartment with 1, 2, 3 small little slots. Again, one for your phone or a tablet, then here for organizing maybe your wallet, and then a zippered pocket here for small items. But other than that, there is nothing too special about it. But that can also be a good thing. Keep in mind, the more slots and compartment a bag might have, the more likely it is that it will force you to adapt to the packing style of the bag. For example, sometimes the slot is too small and doesn't fit some of your items. So you can, or you need to kind of rethink, okay, how do I utilize that pocket? Is this too small for some of the items that I have? So I kind of need to rethink my packing style. So this being a little bit more simplistic in air quotes, but still having a couple of slots to organize your items is a really cool middle ground. But
with this magnetic closing and opening, it needs to be seen how I like this when I eventually review this sling bag. But just like the backpack, the build quality is great. I do like this new recycled material. The design and the look, honestly, modern Dayfarer has a really cool modern style and modern look to it. I do like that. The build quality is great. Yeah, for now I can say this looks and feels really good. I'm looking forward to see how these will work out in the review and day-to-day use. And if you are interested into getting one of these 2 bags, I will put affiliate links in the description below. With those you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. Every support is highly appreciated. I think that these look great, feel great, are very well made. What are your opinions on these 2 bags from Modern Dayfarer? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you have any questions about these bags, also comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, maybe also hype the video. And if you want to see my review about one of the Modern Dayfarer bags, check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. Maybe help me to get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.